Hey, good morning, church. Hope you guys are having a great morning so far. As you know, we are studying through the New Testament, and right now we are in 1 John chapter 5. Now, at the beginning of 1 John chapter 5, chapter 5 really starts in a weird spot. If you go into chapter 4, verse 20, that's actually where this should start. Chapter 4, verse 20 through chapter 5, verse 5. It's actually all one coherent thought. There's a paragraph break there where you go into chapter 5, but it's actually all just one thought. So when you're reading this, you need to start back up in verse 20 and then read all the way through that first thought. The chapters and the verses obviously are there for our benefit, and they sometimes do this where they put it in a weird spot. But so if we just go ahead and jump in, let's start in verse 20. It says, "If anyone says, 'I love God,' yet hates his brother, he is a liar. For the person who does not love his brother he has seen cannot love the God he has not seen. And we have this command from him: the one who loves God must also love his brother." So that is going back to the two greatest commandments that Jesus says: love God and love people. So that just goes back to those 2 points straight from Jesus, right? So now we're into chapter 5, and there's a paragraph break, but it's still the same thought. So in chapter 5 it says, "Everyone who believes that Jesus is the Messiah has been born of God, and everyone who loves the Father also loves the one born of him. This is how we know that we love God's children, when we love God and obey his commands." So if you look at that, and then you go back to verse 21 in chapter 4, it says, "The one who loves God must also love his brother." So, and then in chapter 1, it's calling God the Father, obviously. And then into verse 2, it says, "Know that we love God's children." So if God is our Father, and we're supposed to love God's children, we're also supposed to love our brothers. So that's the big family picture going on there, is God is the Father. He is the Father, and all the Christians we're all brothers and sisters in Christ, and we're not supposed to just love God. Again, we're supposed to love our brothers and sisters, and it says it right there, and it's repeating itself right there. So then if you jump down into verse 6, now this starts a new topic, a new set of topics here. And there's really one that's really debated a lot, that I've read a bunch about. And so if we jump in verse 6, it says, "Jesus Christ, he is the one who came by water and blood, not by water only, but by water and by blood. And the Spirit is the one who testifies, because the Spirit is the truth. For there are 3 that testify, the Spirit, the water, and the blood. And these 3 are in agreement." So, I read that a few times, and the thing that really kept jumping out at me is water and blood. Like I've heard that so many times, and so I really thought about it, and I did some research on it, and there's a bunch of different things that people debate about what it is, what the Spirit and the blood mean, the water and the blood means. Obviously the Spirit is Jesus, that's obvious, but then you have the water and the blood. Some people think that the water and the blood just mean his physical body, the one that he came down onto earth with. But, other people are saying that the water is the baptism through John the Baptist, and the blood is the blood on the cross. Now, I'd love to hear you guys' thoughts. That could depend on how you interpret it. But I'd love to hear you guys, but I hope you guys have a great yesterday. God bless.